Hello, welcome to another construction video. So you might have noticed that it's birthday week all this week for Tonic, and today's launch is for the delightful dresser and advent accessory gift box. I only managed to get my hands on a prototype die for this dresser, so some of my dies might not look 100% like the real ones, but I thought I would do a construction for the actual dresser because I think it's going to be something that you might want to refer back to. I'm sure the packaging will have instructions inside it. It usually has a folded piece of card in there, and then you can open it up and it has instructions inside, or they're just on the back of the card or on a separate piece of paper. But I'm sure something like this would come with instructions, but I just thought I haven't made one yet, so we're going to be making this together. I think I know how it goes together, so we'll see at the end of this video. I mean, obviously if it doesn't work well, you'll probably never see this video, but I'm hoping I know how to put it together. So I'll walk you through all of the pieces that you need. So to make the dresser, you need 2 of this large piece here, and this is the actual size of the dresser. So it will be this wide and this tall. In that sort of landscape orientation. So you need 2 of those to create the body of the dresser, and we'll be sticking them together like that to create the net for the box. Then to create the decorative like fancy top piece for the top of a wardrobe, you will need 1 of this piece and then 1 of each of these. You get both ways round, so you just need 1 of each of those pieces. That will give you the top decorative portion of the wardrobe. Then for the bottom of the wardrobe, to give it little feet, you will need 2 of each of these. So you just cut both of them twice, and I'm also showing you where all of the adhesive goes as I'm showing you these as well. So if you're unsure where to put adhesive, just check back on this and see which tabs I've put the adhesive onto. So that is for the base of the wardrobe. And then to create the doors, you need 2 of these, so 1 for each door. And your one might look slightly different. I'm not sure if they've left it the same or if it's slightly different, but I think it will go together in the same way. And you'll need 2 of these, and you'll need to put the adhesive where I have put it on here. I had stuck it all the way along this one, but this is actually exposed and it would stick to the hinge portion that attaches it to the wardrobe. So you just want a little bit either end, because it's actually going to end up sticking to these portions once it all folds together. It looks quite complicated, that, but I will walk you through it. And then you also want, I was actually using 2 of these Moroccan panels for each door. So I was cutting 4 of these out, but you do get other options as well. I'm just not sure 100% if my ones are the ones that you're getting, so I'm only showing you this one because I'm pretty sure this one's in there. So this is the little pattern or the panel that goes on the front, and I've already made one because I wanted to test the door and make sure I was going to be showing you how to put it together properly, because there's quite a lot of folding on there. So this is one of the little doors, and you can see I've put acetate in it, and I've actually sandwiched the acetate between 2 of the panels, so you get the professional side inside the front of the door, but you also get the professional side in the back of the door as well. So this would sit on the wardrobe and open like this, and we're going to be making the other one which will sit the other way and open like that. So those are the doors for the wardrobe, and I will walk you through how to put that together as well. And then that is like the main basic shape of the wardrobe, which you could leave like that if you wanted to, depending on what you want to put inside it. You could just leave it as that kind of a construction, but the idea of it is to put drawers inside it, so you can fit 6 drawers inside each wardrobe, and I think you can stack the wardrobes on top of each other to turn it into like an advent calendar, like the name suggests. It says advent accessory gift box. I don't have any of the advent parts though, but I think you could make multiples of them. If you made 4 of them, you'd then have 24 days for an advent calendar, which would be lovely. So to make these portions, there's quite a bit of die cutting involved because you actually need 12 of these. Now I've decided to go with rainbow colours, so I just need 2 of each of the 6 colours that I've chosen. And then you also need 12 of these as well, so just 12 of that piece. But there's also 2 different options for this. This one is a solid fronted drawer, which you can then put a pretty patterned panel on, but there is also a drawer in there which has the little finger pull in it as well. And on this drawer that I'm making, you can put handles on it as well. I might not show you putting the handles on just because they'll need a little bit of time to dry, so I might just show you the basic construction without the handles, but you could put handles on this as well. You could even put the handles onto the one, even though it's got a finger pull on it as well. You could also put the handles on there too. So there's two different options for the drawers, but for the ones that I'm doing the 6 different colours. So this is how the drawer will work. You have the little enclosed portion, which we are going to stick all together to create our actual drawer unit. You could even just use these together and stick them like this, but because we've got the base of the wardrobe, it's going to keep everything contained and nice and sturdy and strong. And I've got an idea for how to stick these together so they're going to be nice and sturdy and strong as well. So I have done a complete rainbow of colours, and quite funnily, the way it's lining up, red and green are opposites on the colour wheel, blue and orange are opposites, and then yellow and the purple are opposites on the colour wheel. But I was trying to just go through rainbow order, but it works out quite well, that they're sort of complementary colours, which is quite cool. And then the idea is that I'm going to have the lovely white panel doors, so you'll be able to see the beautiful colours through the door panels, which I think will look really nice. So that's what I decided to go for. And if you want to know cardstock wise how much cardstock something like this will use, for the white card I pretty much used up 3 full sheets of A4 cardstock for all of the white, and that is cutting the 2 panels. I think you would only need 1, but I wanted to make it look neater with 2 panels for this decorative detail. So that is 3 full sheets of white card creates the entire basis of the wardrobe. And then for the interior drawers, for each of the colours of cardstock, depending how frugal I was at placing the dies on there and cutting around them, I was left with this much card for each of the colours. So if you were doing them all out of the same colour, you'd probably get away with 4 sheets, but because I've used 6 different colours, I've cut into 6 different sheets, and I've still got this kind of strip left that I could use to make a matching card for it or something, which would be really lovely. So I just thought I'd mention that in case you're interested. And also the last thing is these little dies here. However, I don't have all of the dies that you're supposed to use to create this mechanism, which is the locking mechanism for the wardrobe. I'm going to do my best to see if I can get it to work. If there isn't any footage of it, then obviously I didn't get it to work. But this is supposed to be the locking mechanism, but obviously in your die set you'll have the proper dies to make this work. But I think I can get it to work like this. But yeah, if you don't see it on the finished box, then obviously I didn't manage to get it to work. But those are the little bits you need, and I think you just have to cut this one twice, and in your set these 2 should be a double die, and this little tiny dot should be a double die as well to cut it out. I've just fiddled with these, cut that hole bigger and stuff from the die set that I had, but hopefully I'll be able to get that to work for you as well. So let's go first with assembling the last little drawer. I did 5 of them off camera just to make it quicker for the assembly, so you're not sitting here for hours whilst I stick it all together. But basically this portion is super duper easy. You've just got your 6mm red liner tape on the glue tabs on here, and then you can just remove it, fold up any excess if you've stuck it on wonky or if it's hanging over the glue tab. Then place the next one on, and then we can fold all of the scores on here, and we want to fold the score of that glue tab as well. Then we can fold this one in like this, fold that excess tape up again. You could use 3mm tape if you didn't want to faff with folding that tape up once you've taken the backing off. And then because this is even-sided, we can fold it flat like this to get it to stick nicely. And that is your little like drawer insert where your drawer is going to live, which is really easy to make. Then for this piece we need 2 of these to make the one drawer. I've cut the decorative portion to go on the front, and I actually stacked 2 together. You need to run the other dies through 12 times, so you might as well run this die through 12 times, and then you get to double stack these for the 6 drawers as well. So I thought that was quite a good idea, and we can just place that onto that front of the drawer there. You could obviously also embellish these with Nouveau drops and all sorts in the centre of these, or gems, or stick the handle on, whatever kind of decoration you want to go for. Then I've just been, to do all of the others, been taking the Nouveau Deluxe adhesive and gluing these 2 together to get the actual net of the box. And then once that's stuck together, we can just fold all of the scored lines. So everything is folding away from us. If we've got the professional edge towards us, everything's folding away, even the glue tabs. And then how I like to do it, you might want to do it one tab at a time for the first drawer, but once you're onto the sixth one, I'm sure you'll find it much easier to put them together. They are pretty simple boxes, just the basic kind of construction of a normal box that Tonic might produce. And then we can roll up that last bit of tape so it's not going to be sticky on the inside of the drawer. And then all we've got to do is go round and line up this cut edge here with the fold of the glue tab, and that will create our little drawer for us. So there we go, really, really easy. You could also do that with wet glue if you wanted to, and use like little pegs to make sure it stays stuck whilst it's drying. And then you've got your little drawer that goes into the little insert, and obviously you can put your handle on there to help you pull it back out. You could even just put a brad in there if you wanted to help you be able to pull it out as well, or you can use the drawers with the little finger pulls in them, again, to make it much easier to pull the drawer out. So those are all of the actual drawers to create or to go inside the wardrobe. Then let's start putting the actual wardrobe together. So to do this, we need two of these is the main portion of the wardrobe, and we need to stick them together like this to create the main net of the box. So I think I will just use some tissue tape, as this is kind of a large area that we want to make sure definitely stays nicely stuck together. And then I'll do one diagonally as well. And I might actually put some glue on the corners of the other die cut as well, just to make sure all of the corners are going to stay down really nicely as well. It's mostly these two corners that haven't got the tape on them, so maybe I'll just put some there, just to make sure it's going to stay stuck nicely. And then we'll take the other one and we just line them up on top of each other, like so. Press them down, and then we can just fold all of these score lines. Again, everything is folding away from you if you've got the professional edge towards you. Okay, and then we can just start bringing it, oh, I haven't folded that one. Then once we've folded everything, we can just start bringing it around, and you can see how it's easily going to form the basis of the wardrobe. So we can take off these two glue tabs here and pull this one round exactly the same way. You're just lining up the cut edge here with the score line of the glue tab. And if you press it onto your desk, you can get a good adhesion between the tab and the main box. And then just do the same for that last side. And then take the tape off of these two. And we can pull this one along here. And do this one along here. You can also use glue as well as tape, or you could just use glue if you'd rather for this as well. Then I'm not sure at this point whether to stick the top and bottom pieces on, or whether to put the actual drawers in here first. It might be easier to actually put all of the drawers in here first. I mean, I'm guessing you could leave it so that you could take them out and reconfigure them, but the way I want to do it is I want to actually stick all of these pieces together before I put it inside the box, and then I'll add glue inside the box and push the whole thing in. I think that's going to work, so that's what I'm going to try and show you how to do. So we want all of those outside edges, and I know that I want those three in one stack and these 3 in the other stack, just like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the orange and the yellow and I'm going to flatten them both the same way, and I'm going to take the blue and the purple and I'm going to flatten them, and then I'm going to put tape on the top of both of these. So maybe put 3 pieces like that. Okay, same on these 2. And this one. Okay, and then I want to remove the tape and fold those excess pieces in. Then we can actually stick this straight on top. So we're squashing both of them and we're sticking that large rectangle onto this large rectangle that we've just put the adhesive onto. And when you pop it back up again, they should be on top of each other like that. So you can just push it back down to get a good strong bond between the 2 of them. And then we can do the same thing with the red one on top. So we can take this one, fold it this way, and stick that down, and then when it all folds up, they're all flush along that edge, but you've got them all nicely stuck because you can press really firmly onto that to get them to stick together. So now we should be able to place that in there, and you can see how nicely that goes in. Then we can repeat the same thing for this stack of 3. And we can take this one and press that onto there. And then we've got the green one to go on the top of the stack. Okay, so we've now got our stack there, and then they should both fit next to each other inside this box, but we can also stick them together as well. So we can take this back out, we can flatten that down, and we can put more tape on this portion. Bit more tape at the top there. And then we can remove all of this. Fold that piece down, and then we want the yellow to be next to the purple, and we want the blue to be next to the orange, and the green to be next to the red. So then we can fold them or press them together like that. And then when we pull it apart, we've got the whole mechanism for like all 6 of them put together, which should then slot perfectly into here. Keep saying should just in case it doesn't work, but that should go perfectly into there like that. And then we can actually stick this inside if we want to, or leave it actually, and just put all of the drawers inside there. So you can make it so it's a versatile little wardrobe that you can take the whole drawer system out of it as well if you want to. That might be quite a nice idea actually, because I think it would all stay inside there quite nicely. And so there we have it, we've got all of our little drawers inside our wardrobe. So now we need to I think do the top and the bottom of the wardrobe next, and then we'll do the door last because the door's probably the trickiest part. So for the top of the wardrobe we need these 3 pieces, so you just need one of each of these dies, and I've put the tape in all the places where I'm pretty sure you need it. And then we can just pre-fold all of these lines, and again we're folding away from us. With the professional edge towards us, we're folding away from us. And the same with all of these ones. I'll zoom in again. Right, then this goes up this way, and then where we've put the 3mm tape, we're going to attach them onto here. So we want the curve to sort of carry on, and that's going to curve round the wardrobe to make it look like one of those ornate topped wardrobes. So we can put that on there like that, and then this one on the other side. And then these glue tabs will fold downwards, and we'll stick this onto the top of the wardrobe to give it that pretty decorative edge on the top of it. You could, if you wanted to, maybe have put the adhesive on the opposite side and then glue that underneath the lip here, and then maybe glue those pieces down the side, but you know, then you'd have to cover the side panels. I think if you do it this way, I'm pretty sure you actually get a rectangle that could be a matten layer to go on the top and the bottom. So if you do it this way, you can then stick another rectangle over the top to cover these glue tabs if you want to, you know, depending on how neatly you want to do it, and to cover up any of the workings. So let's take the backing off of these. And then I think we will line the top up first. And this is going to be hard to show you, I think. I want to try and, I'm trying to get it centred in the middle, but also want it right on that front edge of the box as well. So hopefully you can tell how I'm placing it. Okay, once you think you've got it in the right place, you can then press down. So at the moment I'm just pressing on that front piece. I haven't stuck the side ones in place yet. So now we've got a secure bond there. We can then bring the side pieces round and press them firmly into place as well. So hopefully that was easy for you to see from above how I've done that. So that's the top of the wardrobe. So it's starting to look more and more like a wardrobe now. And then you also want the little legs for the wardrobe as well. So to do that, you need 2 of each of these strange shaped looking dies to create the legs of the wardrobe. And this is basically going to be a continuous strip that goes all the way around. This piece with the long bit of tape is going to stick under the wardrobe on the bottom, and these bits of tape are going to stick on the edges of these ones, and this little decorative piece is going to like pop up at the edge of the bottom of the wardrobe, so you'll be able to see that curved piece here. So I think the best way to do it is probably going to be to stick it all together in one long strip and then attach it to the wardrobe. So we're going to line up all of these. And this weird shape here lines up with the sort of the leg shape there, so it's really simple to get it in the proper position. And then we'll get this one on here. Then we want to go along and fold all of these. So we can fold these ones down and the glue tab, and you can see how that is going to come together and make the base of the wardrobe. I've also put tape on the insides here so that we can stick that to the outside of the wardrobe, and then we also need to fold down these long glue tabs that are here as well. So I think now we've stuck it in a strip, we're not going to complete the strip. I think it's best to start sort of putting it around the wardrobe. I think that will be the easiest way of doing it. Okay, so we've got that bit folded as well. So we'll start at the front with this final piece here. And again, we want to stick that right against the front edge of the wardrobe like we did with the top piece. So I'll take that off, and hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Going to line that up with that corner first and then bring it over, and then pressing from underneath to get a good stick. Right, then we want to spin it round, and you'll see that this piece is sort of coming over the top of the wardrobe. So now I can take my tape off that I've got underneath here, and then we can stick that onto there like that to make the side leg of the wardrobe. Then we're going to go back to the back of the wardrobe, and all of my drawers are falling out. Maybe don't keep the drawers in there whilst you're turning it around. And then we can take this long strip of tape off and we can line that back leg up against the back of the wardrobe and press, and then we can twist it to the last side. And now this bit, we want to take the tape off the back here, but we also want to take the tape off the last little glue tab that's going to go in as well. So we want to pull this round. We could even get that glue tab in first for the final leg, and then we can position that and press it down. So that's pretty easy actually to put that on, which is nice. And that is still staying inside there, just the drawers were falling out, not the actual main mechanism, so that's quite nice as well. So you can really see the wardrobe coming together now. And then we have got one door already made, which is going to be attached like this. The reason why the drawers are set backwards is because the doors are thick. They've got like a cool, almost shaker style sort of panel around the intricate panel on the inside to make them nice and strong, and they will actually recess inside the wardrobe, which I think is a really lovely design. You don't often get to see that. And then those will stick onto there, and there's enough space for them to sit comfortably inside the wardrobe. So I'll be back in 1 second to show you how to put the other wardrobe door together. So for the doors, you're going to repeat this twice, but I've already done one. And this is going to be the places where we put the adhesive on. I haven't put the adhesive on the like hinge mechanism of where it attaches to the wardrobe yet, so I'll show you that when we get to that portion. But this is just the adhesive that you need to be able to stick it together. And if you're not 100% sure about getting these two little pieces in the right place, you can wait until you get to that piece and then put small little bits of tape on there if you'd rather do it that way as well. So I'll show you this little panel first so that it can dry. And the reason why I was doing this is because obviously you can see the trellis from the outside of the wardrobe looking at it this way, but then when you open the wardrobe door you can also see the trellis. So I wanted to do it double-sided so that it was nice on both sides. And then also I wanted to put acetate in it so that it's nice and sturdy, and like the trellis isn't going to get ripped or anything over time. So the way I have done that is I've taken 2 of the trellis dies and I've put strong double-sided tape around the perimeter of both of them. I've stuck one onto a piece of acetate, and then I was just taking my long bladed pair of scissors and like undercutting the edge of the panel to trim off the excess acetate all the way around all 4 edges. And then the one on the other side, this pattern seems to be symmetrical both directions, which is really nice because it makes lining it up super duper easy. So you can see how perfectly it's going to line up on the other side. So all I was doing to get it to line up on the other side was taking off the Redline tape, and then we want to put some tiny dabs of glue onto this intricate detail. So just a few little dabs of glue, just so that this doesn't like bow out from the acetate and then risk, you know, getting ripped over time. It should keep it nice and strong. So just tiny little dabs of glue. And then I've also been tapping the glue off on the back of my hand as well, just so there's no blobs, because even when there's tiny little blobs, when you're putting it onto acetate, it's very difficult to get the glue off the acetate again. So just doing that and then layering them up over the top of each other, trying to line up the pattern perfectly. And there we go. So that is the actual like patterned glass, almost like the leaded glass kind of portion of it. I think if you did this in wooden colours or even like deep greys, like metally colours, this would look fantastic as well. It would really look like one of those old book cabinets or something. I think that would work really nicely. So that is the main panel that we need once we've finished this portion, but I thought I'd do that first so that the glue's drying. Then for this portion there are tons of score lines on here, and all of them we want to fold away from us. So we're keeping the professional edge towards us and we want to fold it away from us. Again, sorry if this die is different to the one in the real packaging, but you should still get the idea of how to put it together. Even if the die looks slightly different, it should be the same idea of how all of the bits fold around. So we're folding them all like away from us so that this piece will curl round and become that frame, similar to the actual 3D frame dies that Tonic do, but on a much smaller scale. So if you've had any of those frame dies before, it's very similar to that, it's just on a much smaller scale. And then we'll just fold all of these ones. I could have pre-folded this one, but I thought you might want to see exactly like how I get the folds to work and stuff. So that is the next side, and then the top. And then the back as well is actually inside the panel. That's why it looks so peculiar, because that's the final side of the piece. And we'll fold that. And then the reason why you have just little bits of tape on these two end portions of this tab is because this piece here is going to fold. It actually folds and sticks onto the rest of the frame, but when this folds round, it's going to stick onto that portion. I'm hoping that'll make sense, especially when I show it later, because there is an extra flap of card here, which originally I thought, okay, that works the same way as like this folds around and that flap just folds around, but that is actually the hinge that we're going to use to stick it onto the wardrobe, so you definitely don't want to use that tab, otherwise you can't add your door to your wardrobe. So it's these little weird pieces here that are what we use to attach this inner panel to. So I started with putting these pieces in. So you can see I had the tape on these two portions. So we want to take the tape off of those. And, oops. And we want to fold that inwards. And this is basically just giving that final side somewhere to stick onto so that it's going to stay nice and secure. So we're literally just moving them in and sticking them along this score line that's here. So we're just pulling up that first side and then sticking them along there. So really, really simple. Then the next thing I was doing was bringing these two short sides in. Because of the way the little glue tabs are, this is the easiest way to do it, I think. So we'll start with one of these ones, and we're just like curving this all the way around. Oh, I didn't take the backing off. Okay, we're curving this all the way around there, and then this glue tab is actually sticking on the inside of the frame, and you're just lining up the cut line with the score line. And because we've not properly put it together yet, we can actually squish this so that it's gets really well adhered with the adhesive, which is nice. And then we can do the same thing on the other side. Okay, and then this one is just going to roll inwards and stick on the inside of that bit down there. And again, we can squish it flat to get a good adhesion. Then we want to do this side, so this long side, there's actually two tiny little glue tabs. Well, on my die there is two tiny glue tabs. You probably don't need to stick them, but I was actually just putting a teeny blob of glue on there just so that, you know, they can stick if they want to. And then we can take the double-sided tape off that last edge, and then we're just curling that in on these corners here, and then again sticking that glue tab along that final interior edge of the frame, and you can also press that down and then pop it back up again so that those corners have got a chance to try and grab. It doesn't matter too much because when we add this piece on, we'll be able to make this more square and it'll hold its shape more in like this. So it doesn't matter if there's little gaping holes at the moment. We will be able to sort that in a second. So the final side is this weird piece here. We've got those two pieces that we already pulled inwards, and then now these two bits of adhesive are going to stick to the inside of those little flaps that we added. And then that is how this side is secured. See, if you had put adhesive all the way along, you would be able to see it here, and it could interfere with your like hinge for the door. So then we can stick that one on there, and we can even squish that one, I think. Can we get it to squish? Maybe not quite. We can actually get the scissors. If you get the blade of the scissors in that little gap there, you can push from the inside to get it to adhere nicely as well. So now we're left with this, but we want to turn it into this, which is nice and neat. So all we're going to do is take this panel that we put together and stick that onto there to hide all of the workings. And you can see it wants to sort of pull apart a little bit, but if we take some red liner tape, we can put it all the way along these pieces. Okay, and then we can pull these corners together and press that tape down to start holding it more into the right shape. Just press them together, and then once we take the adhesive or the backing off of this adhesive, we can actually use the sort of Moroccan tiled rectangle to properly make that the perfect rectangular shape as well. So we take this piece and we can just line it up with the right angled corner, line it up along that short side, line it down the long side, and that just makes sure the whole thing is nice and square. And there we go, we've got our other door, and we've got our little hinge here as well, which we can fold, and we have our perfect second little door for our wardrobe. So if I bring it back in and zoom out, we can have one on this side, and then we can have the other one on the other side. And I guess you could put the hinges on the outside if you wanted to, or on the inside, because you probably do get decorative panels to be able to you know, cover that portion, but I think maybe we want to stick them on the inside to make it look a little bit nicer. So if we're going to stick them on the inside, then we want to put the adhesive onto the professional edge of the door, so of the die cut piece. We want it on the professional side. And then the same on this one. Okay, then we can take the backing off of this, fold any of the extra overhanging tape onto that hinge portion, and then we can put this inside the wardrobe. So we can bring it back in, and then we want to fold that down, and we're lining it up with that fold line against the edge of the wardrobe. And again, we want to centre the door so that up and down it's nice and central, and then we can press that into place, because this door is nice and firm, so we can press it into place nicely, but we can also flip the door open and just press either side of that as well to get it to stick nicely. And you can see how that door like pops up, which is why they have done the little locking mechanism, which we will see if we can get to work on the top of the box in a second as well. I think you could put a locking mechanism above and below, or just one or the other as well if you want. That's why they've put the hole in there. But again, I'm not sure if the hole is in the actual die set. They might have changed that, you never know. So let's fold that excess tape over, and then we can put the second door on. And we do want to make sure, I mean, they should be exactly the same size, but we do want to make sure that our doors are hanging even, because it's going to be difficult. It's not like we can adjust a hinge on them, but so again we want to make sure that that is nice and central on there, and then we can press it into place. Yeah, and they look quite nice and central in there. Yeah, that looks good. And then we can open it up, press again from the inside, And there we have our little wardrobe. And then all we have to do is figure out that locking mechanism. Obviously yours will work perfectly because you have the proper dies in your die set. But yeah, I think this is really cool. I mean, actually, if you had one of those like metal findings that have like the little twisty bit of metal that goes inside a loop on the other side, that would look really nice as a little closure in the centre here. But the little piece we're going to attempt to make is going to sit at the top here, and it'll just sort of hang over to keep those doors flush with the front of the wardrobe. But I think this looks so cool. It's so cool. Look how wicked it looks. And doing it with the white and the rainbow makes it really funky. So you can go like really traditional, even make it look like one of the wardrobes from like Beauty and the Beast or something. Or you can go with wacky rainbow colours and turn it into something that looks really cool and modern as well, which is really nice. And you do also get all the pieces to decorate this portion, the sides, the top. You can even put one under the bottom as well to hide some of the workings. I think you might get some decorative panels for these side pieces as well, possibly even the bottom. So yeah, there's loads of different pieces included, and there's like different drawer fronts as well, all sorts of different things to decorate it with too. I've literally just done the basics just to be able to show you the construction. I don't think I'm going to be able to get this mechanism to work with the dies that I have, because they've changed it for the final one, obviously to make it a much easier kind of closure. So you will have a proper closure to do. However, I think I'm going to cut some more of the prototypey kind of closure piece that I have in my die set. I think I'm going to cut some of these and actually do one top and bottom, but use a brad to hold it in place and do it that way. I think that's going to be the best solution for this. So I'm just going to cut a few of these and then I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I've cut enough for 2 mechanisms, but I'm going to actually see if we can get away with just one at the top as well. So what I've decided to do is to cut 2 of these. See, my ones have a small hole in the middle, but they changed it to have a larger hole. So I'm not sure if this was the original mechanism, maybe it didn't work as well, and that's why they changed it. But your die set will be the perfect mechanism to get it to work, so that's the most important thing. So I think I just wanted to do 2 so that it would be stronger. See, yeah, I think that will still hold it. So hopefully this will work. And I've got tiny little brads. These are really old, so I'm not sure if you can buy these this set anymore. But you can easily get tiny little brads on Amazon and eBay. So I just get, a tiny little silver brad. I think silver is going to look nice. And then we can put it through the centre of that double one. So teeny tiny little brad. You could obviously use a bigger one as well. And then right through that little tiny hole. And then just pull the legs apart. And then, yeah, see, I reckon they changed it because this maybe isn't quite strong enough to hold the wardrobe doors shut. But maybe if we put 2 on it, it would hold them a little bit better. We'll have a look. Let's try it. So we just stick 2 together again. I just think it makes it a little bit sturdier if you've got 2 together. There we go. And then another tiny silver brad. And then we can just put that one on the bottom and then flip it up and pull the little legs apart. There we go, that'll work. That's good enough, just for a demo. It holds it shut quite nicely actually. Okay, so I'm sure that's still an option on the actual one as well. So I mean, I guess you could follow the instructions with your dies and do the proper closure, or you can give this kind of closure a go just using a brad, depending on what kind of look you're looking for, I guess. But isn't that just so cool, this little wardrobe? And it's part of their birthday week celebrations, but I really love it. It's really cute. And it looks so lovely as well. And you could obviously cut another piece of card and hide the little brad legs in there as well and put another piece on the top. You know, you could use patterned papers. You could use, you know, some of the backgrounds that I've shown you how to do, like the squishing ones. You could cut them into panels and decorate with that. So loads and loads of different ways of how you could actually decorate this, and I think doing a vintage style would look really lovely as well. But you know, I like modern kind of look, so I think doing it in white with the bright colours really gives it that modern sort of vibe as well. And then I could also use like the Moroccan panels, just white on white on the sides of them, you know, to give it that modern feel still. So really, really cute little wardrobe, and hopefully this construction was helpful for you if you got hold of this die set. I will leave the links to it below the video, and they are affiliate links as well, so I really do appreciate you using them if you do click on them to buy anything. Yeah, I really love how this turned out. So we can just move the little closures, you can open up the wardrobe. I think I probably will put the little drawer pulls on there as well. And they kind of actually match that Moroccan pattern too. And then you can just have the little handles on all of the little drawers inside there to be able to pull them out really easily. I might even cut them again from the different colours. I think maybe it would look better from the different colours, because then you'd still see the beautiful colours through the lattice design on the front. So that might be another task for another day, to die cut 6 more of those in the different colours. But I really love how this turned out, so I hope you enjoyed this construction video and that it was helpful to you, even though I don't have the proper dies. But I think I've got enough of them, you know, for you to get an idea of how it goes together. So hopefully it was helpful, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the birthday week celebrations. I've got plenty more videos coming up as well, so hopefully you won't be sick of me by the end of the week. And yeah, so I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye!